Amber.
This meeting is being recorded.
Hi, my name's Amber. I'm from Brighton and I'll be at Yes in Spain as well with Kit. So nice to meet you, Kit. And I've been to Barcelona before and I loved it, but I'm ready to explore somewhere else new in Spain as well.
Amazing. Next one, we have Joe.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Joe. I'm going to be working in the food bank in Seville, which I'm very excited for. I'm calling from Guildford, which is kind of just south of London. And I have been to Seville before, and it's a great city, and I'm very much looking forward to going back there. One of the many appeals of this program, but yeah, Seville's a big one.
Nice one. Susanna.
Hi, I'm Susanna, and I've got a degree in literature and film from the University of Glasgow, and I'll be working for Santa Justa.
Nice, teaching English as well. Phoebe.
Hi, I'm Phoebe. I'm calling from Bangor in North Wales. I'm going to be working in the Doñana Research Institute, so I'm doing like mosquitoes. And yeah.
Okay, next one we have Martha.
Hi, I'm Martha. I'm going to be teaching English in Idioma Activa. I think that's how it's pronounced, but
Yes.
I'm from Epsom, so I'm really near Joe. It's like near London. Yeah, but it's nice to meet everyone.
Okay, nice. Actually, I'm just trying to get, I think Elizabeth needs a ID. Let me just put the ID that is, I have it here. Just 1 second.
Hello, sorry, it's worked. I've
Oh, it
managed
worked.
to get on.
Oh, nice. Okay, let's get back. Cool. So after we have Jemima. Jemima, you mute. Yes.
Hi, sorry, just trying to unmute myself. Yeah, I'm Jemima. I am from London, and I'm going to be working in the food bank as well with Joe. It's been nice to meet Joe. And yeah, really looking forward to it. I've been to Seville a couple of times. Obviously, never lived there, so looking forward to it.
Nice one. We have Nade.
Hello, my name's Nade. I'm going to be working with Idioma Activa, and I'm calling from Worcester, which is kind of near Birmingham, a little bit.
Nice. We have Jack Lee.
Hi, I'm Jack. I'm going to be working in Doñana National Park on the grazing project as well.
Nice. And where are you talking from?
Oh, Wales.
Wales. Okay. Next we have Ella.
Hi, I'm calling from London and I'll be working with Third Sector International. So yeah, really excited. And yeah, never been to Seville, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Nice. Okay. We have Bella. Oh, we had Bella. Okay. Hello, Bella. No, you're muted. Still mute. 1 sec. Okay. Let's go when you get better. So Nick.
Hi, I'm Nick and I'm calling from London. I'm going to be teaching English with One Way, and I'm looking forward to the journey.
Nice one. Georgina.
Hi, I'm Georgina. I'm going to be working on the food bank with Joe and I can't remember who else it was, sorry.
Jemima.
Jemima, and I'm calling from the northeast, so near like Durham and Newcastle.
Nice. Okay. Next one we have Will.
Hi, I'm from London. I'm going to be teaching English with One Way, and I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. Then we have Libby.
Meeting being recorded.
Hello?
Hello.
I've got
Bit
feedback
of a-
on my thing.
Yes.
Okay, hi, I'm Libby. I'm going to be teaching English with English Connection, and I'm calling from Lincolnshire.
Nice. Becky.
Hi, I'm
Okay,
Becky.
sorry.
I'm calling from Essex, and I am going to be working with Brighton third sector. I've been to Spain as a child, but not in recent years. I'm quite excited to get to know Seville.
Nice one. Okay, Bella.
Hi, sorry about that.
It is you have this.
I know, I can't stop it. It's really.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna get there. Then we have a Nicole.
Yes, could you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm on the train right now, so my connection's really unstable. But yeah, I'm Nicole. Currently I'm on the train from Edinburgh to London, which you can hear now. But I'll be working for Third Sector International, and I've never been to Seville, but I've been to Madrid before.
Nice. Okay, next one we have Alice.
Hi, I'm Alice. I'm calling from Scotland. I'm going to be working in the water quality testing project.
Nice. Then Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm going to be working at the Centrist Language Centre, and I'm calling from Northern Ireland.
Nice. And then Joel. Hello, Joel. We cannot hear you, Joel. Okay, maybe also the connection. Can't really predict this. All right. So, right, I'm gonna have to mute you, Bella. I'm really sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna start sharing this. It's gonna be quick, and then when we get to this point, we're gonna get just asking questions, and I'm gonna message Rainy so she can join us. Unfortunately, Tom could not join us. He had a bit of a personal issue, but let's go for it. And then let me just have this. Can anybody see these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Right. So Seville is one of my favorite places. And first of all, this is actually, it's almost like what it is in the photo. It is obviously probably photoshopped, whatever, but this is one of my favorite places and that you are gonna go. It's called Plaza de España. And apparently there was even a place there actually recorded for one TV series, might have been, well, one of those. Anyway, who we are. So sending organizations. So I'm talking from Brighton Third Sector Training, and we have Tom, which is the director. So basically working with B3SD is for now is me and Tom in terms of documents, in terms of this. We have other people that help out. But Tom is the director and I am the project coordinator. And then you are going to be working as well with the receiving organization, which will be 3SI. Some of you will be working with 3SI. And mainly the 3 points of contact there will be Fatima, Rini, and Pablo. They are going to be everything that you need in terms of the day-to-day, in terms of everything that is going on with the school, in terms of whatever you need, in terms of flats and other questions. And we're going to have Rini coming soon. Then you have a Spanish teacher, will be Eugenia. Yep. And apparently she's very famous of being a very good teacher. You will be enrolled in a Learning Resource Network, LRN course. So that will be either for the LTAB or Community Development course. Together with you will be another group that we're sending to Lisbon, but don't worry about that. And what happens is when you ask them, they do not know where you are. They do not know which school you are. So they're not going to going to know anything specific about that. But they will give you those 2 days of training, and then and then you're going to have your assignments. It is very important that you actually keep on top of your assignments, because it can be a bit difficult if you don't manage your time very well and you have to deliver those. Because they have to be completed, because you need to finish the course, you need to actually make sure that things are done properly, so be on top of that. But obviously, if you have problems with any of your assignments, then you can just email them. So this is why I'm just not putting it just in terms of a post-COVID thing. So before, you used to be a proof of vaccination, you had to complete the online health form and travel. So and this is something that we still leave it here just in case something changes in the next few days in terms of COVID. We never know. But yeah, so then in terms of the traveling, you can travel to countries in the Schengen area for up to 90 days within an 180 days period without visa. One of you have asked if you spend a few days later and then you go, for example, to Morocco and then you come back, is that counted? So yes, that those days, let's say those 2 days you're going to be in Morocco, will not be counting on the time that you'll be in Seville. So maybe that's something to be thinking about. So key dates and information for you. So you will be departing on the 3rd of January, about 3:30 in the afternoon on that Tuesday. So please be mindful that there might be some train strikes. So please be early. If you want to be there 11 in the morning, I won't complain. So because I will be there from 12 o'clock anyway, just in case people arrive early. And then we can have we have time, because because you're still going to have time. It's not, sometimes I know myself when I travel, I sometimes I'd go directly. It's like, oh, I need 45 minutes and and everything is done. So that's not the case, because you need to check in. We are a big group. Groups tend to walk slower, and it's just please be mindful. Let's not make each other very stressful and then miss our flight. Yep. So when you arrive on that day, you will be made your first payment. Yeah, so your first £400 will be coming to you. Then they will get the monitoring first day of work. Your work will start on the 9th. So we arrive on the 3rd. On the 4th, we're going to cover that later on. We're going to have a bit of a tour and also a presentation from 3SI. 5th and 6th, you are going to have your training, and then you have the weekend. 7 and 8, you have a weekend. Then you might have also another tour, things like that. Get your bearings, get relaxed, and get ready for meeting the person from 3SI in front of your building, so they can direct you to the placement. Yeah. So you're gonna have a second on week 5. That's when you have your second payment. And the week 9 is going to have your third payment. Yeah. So the return flight date, I will be asking for your return flight dates as soon as you arrive. So when you arrive on that first week, I would say, when would you like to return, and where you would like to return to. So obviously, as this is a group booking, everybody comes from Gatwick, but now at that point, you don't need to be together anymore. So that means, like, some people, depending on the flights, of course, we are going to say, oh, I'm going to fly to go back to, I don't know, Glasgow. So we just get a flight directly to Glasgow instead of going to Gatwick, so you can actually make your way to Glasgow, for example, or Belfast, or so that. But that needs to be perfectly written, and you need to tell me so I can actually get this, because I will physically buy everyone's flights separately, right? So there should be no mistakes. And also, if you have to be mindful, if you have spent days in the Schengen area, that you cannot stay for 90 days. If you actually have to leave earlier, you might have to buy your own flights depending on when you go. Okay. Then your final payment will be on your final report. They have to check your flat, because let's say Renee will touch that on as well. You will have a cleaning check on your flat, and if you leave that, and they actually sometimes have to pay for an extra cleaner, that is coming out of the wage. Yeah, and also this is after you receive your assignments, right? So, sorry. Right. So what is happening to make everybody's life easier? I will be there. So I will meet you in Gatwick, and then I will fly with you. When we arrive, there's going to be a transfer that is going to take us to our neighborhood, which is that neighborhood called La Macarena. So in La Macarena, we are going to meet people from 3SI, and they are going to take you to your accommodation. It's not like, oh, this is your address, go. No, they actually take you, give you the keys, take you to your accommodation. On the next day, you're going to have a historical tour, and also a welcome presentation. So just to tell a little bit more of that, more specific things. For example, I know this is like, you shouldn't have a party in the house because that you are actually in a house where you have lots of neighbors. And then you receive a timetable. Exactly what you receive information of buses, information of times, information of everything. You have to keep on top of your emails with them, and they keep messaging you. Then you have do's and don'ts in terms of this trip. Yep. Taking time off because a friend or family member is visiting is unacceptable. So people are welcome to have visits. So some people have asked, can my friend visit, or can my parents come? Yes, but if just because your friend is visiting, you cannot go to work, that's not okay. Yeah, because in the end of the day, you are working, they count on you, and many of you are either in a project or have students or someone that depends on you. So it's not okay. And then on the first day, be presentable. I know we shouldn't really be talking to you this, but it's also common sense, and it's also nice to actually say, so be presentable. And obviously you won't be wearing shorts because it's not even going to be the weather for it, but you would be surprised. So if in case you get sick or something happens, you have to report to your employer or 3SI as the first thing in the morning or the night before. Again, they have to find either someone to substitute or see what's happening. Now, behaviors, we don't need to say that to people, but it is unacceptable to be intoxicated. So if you're going there with any licit or illicit stuff, it is not okay, especially because you're dealing with people. We are a serious company that we deal with. Well, we get a grant from the government, we have audits, so we don't want to have that. So wearing inappropriate clothes or being inappropriate in terms of language or unpleasant, so this have to be reported immediately. You are going to take care. So Seville is a fairly safe city, but it's still a city. So that means that you need to be careful, as you should, and obviously you so take care as much as you would. You have to respect the Spanish. So sometimes you have the cultural shock and we get annoyed the way they are, either the way they behave, because we get homesick, we get a bit frustrated sometimes. They don't understand my English, my accent. I don't understand their accent because they have a tough, very difficult accent. It is important that you actually have to avoid those things, because overall they're very nice people. But in the end of the day, you are guests in their city. Yeah. So that involves a behavior that the British do a lot, which sometimes is binge drinking, and it happens a lot, and it's not really what they do. They don't do that very often. They drink, they don't binge drink. So sometimes they even say, oh, typical English. So they have a phrase to say. So try to keep in groups and when you go out, and again, common sense, don't walk home late, or you're not in a dangerous area, but it is also very important. If you have any problems, you have to report immediately. They will be in your WhatsApp and whatever happens. Yeah. And cycling. So Seville is a very flat city. So if you want, you can do a lot of cycling. There are two main ways. So one of them is Seville, which is, as they call it, like they used to have the Boris bikes. So basically, but is instead of that, is actually a better way because you have a year subscription. For that year you use as much as you want for as long as you want, and then and you can, unless obviously if you spend more than, but or you can just buy a bike and try to resell it, which can be a bit complicated depending on where you live, because then you actually have to carry your bikes up the stairs. So in terms of the accommodation, this will be your own home, so treat it like it. You cannot stick anything on the walls, and that includes blue tack. So because otherwise they stain the walls, and it's not like, and then in April there will be another group coming, and we don't want to actually keep giving, so you don't want to get to a flat where the walls are stained. Yeah, so just common sense, obviously no piercing in the walls, nothing like that. And so if there is any breakages, you have to immediately you have to report. So sorry, you have to report. So let's say what we had previously in the past was they had the arm of the armchair, the sofa, was broken. So that had not been reported, but when they arrived, it's like, listen, this is broken. So or things like that. It's just they will actually fix it, or they will get a new sofa, or you get a new sofa, they get you the money. I know sofa is a big thing, but and if you have any other bills, you give it to the coordinator. Let's say, for example, you changed the gas. Yeah, so because the gas it's not as we have in the UK, where just there's a boiler there, just go and have gas. They literally have the gas canister that runs out of gas, and then you have to actually go buy another one, change it. So you have to have that gas, and when you have that bill, you pay. They give you they give you the money back. Visitors, as we said before, can they stay? That is up to people of your flat. So talk to them, because remember, this is your home. So if you're not happy of having people come into the home, or you want to ask if people want to come, you have a friend staying, they can stay in the couch, whatever, you have to ask, please be mindful, because you're going to be sharing a flat. And you also have to be sensible with the consumption of electricity, because, well, you have to anyways, especially now with the crisis. Now, in terms of monitoring, there are we have a feedback form that is extremely important. Yeah, so there are some documents that not only you're going to have to do the assignments of your course, either the English teaching or the community development. There will be some forms that you need for us, because because as I said, we are constantly audited, and they need to see how it's going and what is happening. So if they see that you are, so they say, oh, in your feedback, they say, oh, my school is, I don't know, there are no students, and I'm not doing anything. So they say these reports, and then we actually have to say what's going on. We talk to the schools, because what we can't do is that in the end, we have a final report and they say, oh, but you never told me. So that is going to be a problem. If you have any problems with the placement, with the accommodation, with the schools, the first point of contact, it will be your 3SI coordinator, and I need to be copied. Yeah, so this is very important, because I need to be aware, not just to be aware of what's happening, but it's also to be aware if the problems are being solved. So you'll be sending we'll send you like regular emails checking. So you must reply to emails, or sometimes I will be sending lots of things through WhatsApp. And then you have three big feedback forms. The midterm feedback is the most important one. But there are, as I said, I need all those feedbacks to see if things are going well, because we are mostly audited on the second, but all the three are important for both for both companies. Now, to manage some expectations, there is going to be some language barriers, because if you think that you speak Spanish, you are going to meet Spanish that speak Andalus. So it's quite funny, because it's a way of things. So it's a very rich in terms of culture. They have a very different way of life that we're sometimes used to. And they also have a different work culture. So we cannot expect people. So sometimes people had some feedbacks that people in Spain walk too slowly. Yeah, okay. But that's because it's part of what they are. So and you see everything is a bit more, it's relaxed, but at the same time it's also more intense and passionate. So you see, but be independent, make sure you actually get this. So in the beginning might feel a bit overwhelming, but you have a lot of opportunities to make lots of friends and get to know people. You are only going to be alone if you want to. This is an opportunity that we have, not only to get to know ourselves, but also interact and make sure the experience is amazing. Okay, so obviously you need to tell everyone if you're having the school, or if you have any food or dietary requirements or things like that in this. Now, the expectations that we have from you is that the assignments, they have to be completed. The midterm feedback form and the final feedback form have to be sent, like no excuse. The emails communication, you have to reply as soon as you can, because we need to do it. I am going to ask you for blogs and photos, because we use them not only for we can actually use the media, but again, it's part of when the audit say, is this person really there? So that I know it makes sense, but and we have the WhatsApp group. And finally, and one of the most important ones, but you're only going to remember this in the end, is the boarding pass. I will need the boarding pass, because otherwise this might jeopardize the future groups. So even if you're not flying back with us, or you're staying in Spain, or you're doing whatever, you will have to check in for your flight, have the boarding pass, send it to me. Okay, you have to do this. This is extremely important, because this might actually jeopardize this. I'm going to send yes, you can come. I'm going to get ready now. And then we have this, and enjoy your time in Seville. Rainy now is about to join the meeting, and you can have questions, not just for her, but also for me. And then I'll stop sharing. Did I stop sharing? I did not stop share. Right. So far, any questions that been to so?
Are you going to send a presentation, Eduardo?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I was going to ask quickly, Eduardo, about the boarding pass. Can you just repeat what you said about that?
Yes. So let's say you decide to stay in Spain. Okay. You decide to stay in Spain, and but on the 2nd of April, when you need to come back, there's going to be a flight for you, because I will need to buy a flight for you on the 2nd of November of April. And I don't care if you're going or not, but I need that boarding pass, because it's a document that we use. So even if you stay, even if you fly before, if you fly later for another flight to another, I need that boarding pass.
Okay, so we use it physically and then we forward you the digital copy or something. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So when you
Yeah.
check in, you have the QR code. That's what I
Okay.
need.
Okay, that's fine.
So I introduce you like Irene or Rini. So you're muted, I think. Are you?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah,
Hello?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. How's everyone? Good?
Good.
Yeah.
So Renee, would you be able to explain a little bit of what you do there?
Of course. So, well, I'm Rini or Irene. Please don't call me Irene. I'm not 80, so just any of those. So I'm the project manager of the Sector International on FreeSky. And we are a sister organization with BEST. So we're the ones in place in Seville. We're going to be the ones you're going to see in person during these 3 months. Also, we arrange the accommodation. We provide full support if you need, well, the first days, I'm going to explain in a bit, but you're going to be introduced to your employer by us and, you know, provided several supporting things that you will be, well, we'll be explaining in a second. But yeah, we are pretty much like the ones monitoring everything in Seville.
It's very echoey.
Yeah,
Is it?
it's
The
difficult
sound.
to hear you. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to hear you.
Okay, I'm going to put this a little bit. Is this better?
No.
No? Okay, that's good. Maybe my speaker is not working well. Okay, do you mind if I maybe join you on my phone, just in case?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so, one sec.
So everyone, if you actually, so as I said, she works for 3SI, so she will be mainly your first point of contact. And so she will be the first point of contact. And basically, if you have to, okay, Jemima, thank you. And if you have any other questions for her, you can do it now because she knows more about the accommodations. She knows more about the placement. If you have specific questions about the placements, things like that.
Do we have our addresses now of where we're going to be? Like, do we know who we're going to be living with? And...
I don't think I don't think they have organized who is going to be with whom yet, because I think unless you say, for example, I just want to stay in an all women's house. You know, if you just say that, something like that, they can try to accommodate that. We do prefer people don't really say that at the last minute to say, oh, as I said, I just want to live with vegans, that sort of thing. But there will be possibility. Oh, hello again.
Hi, can you hear me well now?
Way better.
That's better. Yeah. Okay, that's good. So, yeah, well, I've heard that you were saying about the accommodation allocation, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it pretty much. Like, if you can let us know, please, your preferences as soon as possible. So just for you to have an idea of how we do it, it's like we try to make sure that we don't put people together that are working together unless they are we're specifically asked for that, because otherwise it can be like a little bit too much, like oversharing living. And we also try to put one Spanish speaker per flat just in case. But yeah, more or less there's the criteria that we follow. But of course, if there is any preferences or whatever, please to let us know as soon as possible so we can make the proper allocation, please.
We had some questions that sent before. So Jemima was in the call, but she had to go. She sent the questions and said she asked about the baggage allowance for the flights. That will be, so it says 22 kilos on the way, but because on the way back, normally the flights are 20 kilos, so I just say 20 kilos. Yeah. And then she also asked when we receive details of the apartments, who we're going to live with, where they are, what facilities we have, etc. So partially is already been answered, but also again, facilities, the only thing you need to bring in terms of facilities, in terms of the house, would be your own towel, because correct me if I'm wrong. So people have their own, they will have bed sheets, they will have pillows, they have everything in the kitchen. And what else we can say about it? And then obviously if something else is missing, so if you need a pot or a pen, you can buy it, and then 3SI can refund you.
Yeah, it's just one set of linen per person. And regarding the rest, like the towels, including like the kitchen towels as well, they're not included basically because people normally just like throw them away or they talk to themselves. So we just like thought that was better, just something that's so personal, except for the bed sheets, one per person again. Those aren't provided, but anyway, that's more than enough. And if you don't want to put that extra extra thing in your luggage, you can always buy it here as well. I mean, Seville is like full of shops, of course.
Yeah, and then she also asked, like, a more specific to her placement would be like, when working food bank, will I be working from line or more the operational side? I would say from line. If working from line, what are the risk managements from life staff welfare arrangements? This, as well as any other placement or schools, they will tell you either from health and safety or what to do and how to do it. But as I said before, it's not, sometimes things that were not going to be as obvious as sometimes here the UK does, in terms of like, okay, every time you go to a course to a new building, that's the fire exit, this is the emergency, this is the meeting point is there. That sometimes doesn't happen, but you all have to be aware of it. And finally, she did said, when we receive a timetable for classes. So I assume that she's talking about the Spanish classes. Do you know about that one?
Yeah, once you come here, you will be tested your Spanish like very quickly by a teacher, because we do have your more or less Spanish level ready from your applications and so on. But we want to make sure to allocate you in the right class from your right level. So once you get your, bless you, your little test by the Spanish teacher, you will be told like to start right the next week. So I mean the week after you arrive. So don't worry, because you're gonna be told by the Spanish teacher as well by email and so on. So everything is under control. But we don't want to put you with like a random level that's not going to be suited for you. However, as well, if you ever feel that you're not like quite comfortable in the class that you are, for example, because you think that it is too easy or too difficult for you, that can happen, or maybe because you're like a very fast learner or something, just let Eugenia, your teacher, know. She will do the relevant changes. So this is like, these Spanish classes are guys for you to have another tool to make yourself more comfortable in a Spanish speaking environment. So it's not going to be like, you know, exams or assessments and so on. They're going to be exercises and so on, like really fun as well. And therefore those classes are compulsory. But we do want to, you know, give you another thing for you, like a little trip for you to, you know, improve all the skills, in this case, language ones.
Susanna, if you already have a proof for your level, that is partially she's already going to know about it, so she's going to be easier for the teacher to put her, you in her class. However, as Rini just said, maybe you have approved your level, so that means now you actually living there, your learning is even faster, so that means you can even go, you know, in another class. So also the Spanish lessons, you are going to be with people, also correct me if I'm wrong, or you're going to be with people from other groups?
Yes. So basically, us 3SI, we host different sending organizations, that is called. In your case, it's BEST, but we work with other ones from the UK and Ireland as well. So they're going to come from the more or less the same dates. Like a lot of them we're going to come like a week and a half later. So, but just for you to have an idea, our intention and the goal is to bring between 80 and 90 participants in Seville in January. So just for you to like get more social, of course, this experience here is like a working experience. This is the most important thing. You need to take this seriously and everything, but we want you to get social as well and to you know, you're going to be sharing this experience with a lot of people. So why not mixing you up in the Spanish classes? So even though they're not going to be like very big numbers, so 8, 10 most, but at much. But yeah, we want you to be mixed up with other people, just not to get like the best ghetto and that's it. So we can, you know, your social circle can be bigger and bigger, and you can get to know so many other people that are going to enjoy the same experience, also with many different backgrounds as well. Another group just teachers, for example, other ones are like graphic designers, architects, artists as well. So there's going to be like a pretty big mix of backgrounds and so on, which is quite interesting, just to, you know, expand your mind and world and so on.
Amber is asking, when do we find who we're living with, and when do we get to Spain, or a few days before we leave?
Before that. So maybe we can do like give them like some kind of deadline for them to tell us the preferences, and then we can work on the accommodation allocation.
Yeah, that could be. So until Friday, if everybody could just tell me like what's happening, like, or because if you don't say anything until let's say Friday lunchtime, that means you are okay wherever you are, which the thing is, we don't want to, as it's not like a congeniality context of that I want to be with this and then so it's basically you, if in case something is very important for you, because you feel like if you feel like you have to, you can't live with people that eat meat, for example, because some people are very particular with that, then you have to raise it. Judith, raise her hand.
This is a really basic question, but will there be like a washing machine and like a place to dry our clothes in the accommodation?
A washing machine, yes, in every single flat. They have washing machines, and also yeah, you can have like hangers for the clothes and so on. So not a problem.
Also, Neji said, I can use my audio right now, so I have a couple questions. I don't have a laptop. Is there anything that you can do to help? If we want a larger bag allowance, can we pay for it? So a larger bag of allowance, then if you pay for it, then you pay separately. Yes. I don't know why you would need more than that, because you have 20 kilos already in a big suitcase, plus a small suitcase that you take in the flight. So you already have 2 pieces of luggage, otherwise it'd be difficult even to carry for stuff. So, and you are sharing Amber, so like, are we sharing accommodation with people from this group or also the Spanish classes? So you are sharing accommodation just with people from this group, right, Rini?
Yes.
Yeah, so just this group. So, but the Spanish lessons, because we, as you said, 90 people going, it's easier to establish people with the same level with other people, because otherwise we are a lot of people, we are 27, but at the same time it's some people might have a lot of big gap. No problem, Nick. And any more questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are the apartments central heated? Because
No.
I did read, no.
We do not have central heating in the south of Spain, because we don't really need it. So because winter here lasts for like a month. So it's like we just use like, you know, clothes inside, but you will have also most of the flats that got air conditioning with like a heating option.
Yeah.
Also, if you don't have like a well, we provide one heater per person as well. So don't worry about that. You have a duvet as well. But yeah, no central heating here because not needed.
But from my experience, when I went in a group in January, I was very cold. So because the flats, because Seville is such a hot place that it's you could sometimes be wearing shorts in February, but in January, when it's actually very, very cold, because the flats are prepared to actually expel the heat. So you will feel, so I brought my electric blanket, and there were days that were actually colder inside the flat than outside.
Yeah.
So and it was like, so be mindful that it is going to, it's nothing like the code in UK where you go inside and you actually protect, you feel actually worse. So so whoever, somebody rose the hand. Judith, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I've got a couple. When will we get Irene's number? Like on WhatsApp, we can contact her?
I will be sending you a welcome pack in like along around this week, and you're gonna get in there. There's my number and also my 2 colleagues coordinators, which are Pablo and Fatima, is also our email addresses. So you will have them. Also, before you come, actually, when I send you the welcome pack, that please read it carefully. It's a very long one, but it says like a lot of information that is very useful for you. And in the email as well, I'm going to send you the link to a WhatsApp group that we're gonna have with you guys. That WhatsApp group is going to be just for us to send you reminders and so on. So we're the ones who are going to be able to talk in that group. If you want to address something else, you can contact us separately, either WhatsApp or email. Best email, actually, because that's the way like we make sure 100% that we're going to get it, because sometimes like WhatsApp can get lost and we get like a million WhatsApp today and work. So yeah, that's my advice.
Is that
yeah, sorry.
Is that welcome pack being sent to our physical address or sent by email? Sorry.
By email, yeah, to the addresses that we already have. So you're going to be sent that. Also, that is actually good to point out. Make sure that you check out your spam folder, because sometimes our emails may go through that. But I'm gonna CC Edu as well, just to make sure that he can let you know as well.
Libby?
I was just wondering whether we can get contact details for our employers for the placements we'll be going to, and whether you would recommend that we chat to them before we start working.
You can send me an email if you want. I can put you in touch with them. It's fine. Normally, you're gonna meet them and get the contact details. Yeah, the first day of work. That is gonna be pretty much, now that you asked, I'm gonna explain. We will send you an email on the day, exact day, the hour that one of the 3SI coordinators of 3SI staff, we're gonna meet you at the work placements, or otherwise, if it's like a little bit difficult to get there just for the first one, we can we'll drive you there or come with you. But then is when you get like the contract signed and everything, you're gonna get the details to your supervisors and so on. But again, if you think that's convenient just to talk to them previous of your arrival, you can let me know and I will put you in touch.
Okay,
the only thing, Libby, is that because when you arrive there and people from 3SI will take you to your placement, they will also introduce you to your point of contact. So if you have any questions, because sometimes even, let's say they will know who the point of contact anyways already, but they say that person, so you actually have that first place, because you have to remember they are also dealing with other people, but you're talking to her, maybe you don't have to bring any books, you don't have to bring any material, because they should be providing everything that you need. Okay.
Do I need to bring my I've my TEFL certificate?
No need for that.
No. I forgot to. So Nady had asked about the laptop. If there is anything that we can do to help, do we have a place that she can get use a computer, like a library around?
Should be. There's something like services for laptop rental here, so maybe we can check that out. To be honest, I've never used them before, but and libraries, they're not like that common anymore, just for people to study. But yeah, maybe like a laptop rental could be a good option, just in case.
Okay.
I'm not sure libraries, to be honest. There's one in here, but the laptops are probably like 30 years old from the library here, so I'm not sure if that's going to be like quite helpful, really.
Okay, Judith.
Sorry, 2 more questions. The first one is, do we need to bring an adapter for our
yes
plugs? Okay.
Yes.
The second one is, what's the public transport like? So say if we're in accommodation, we need to like travel a bit to get to our placement.
Where is that you're going to be working again?
Buses or
Centris.
Say it again. And centuries, yeah. It's in your case. In your case, you will have to. You can do two ways. You can either take the metro or go by bus. In that sense, we will explain you everything how to get there. You can get like the travel card, or you can get the tobacconist, and with that, the bus one that to Centuries, which is like a little bit out of Seville, can cost you like €1 and something. It's not very expensive. Same with my metro one, but it's very easy. You're going to be explained everything, and once you get to your first meeting, in your case, because again, it's a little bit further compared to all the placements, someone will either drive you there or come with you, and they'll explain you how to get there as well.
Yeah. Any other questions? Any final questions?
I was going to ask, how many of us is it per flat? And I'm guessing, are we all the flats in the same building?
Not all of them are in the same building. It's going to be 3 people per flat, but all of you will be living in the same area in Seville. Actually, only 80 plus people will be living in the same area. I said like they colonize it pretty much. And is it called La Macarena, and it's in the northern part of Seville. It's like a residential area, a little bit, but it's very close to the town center. It's around 20-minute walk. Also, if you cycle, it's like nothing. And all the like local shops, supermarkets as well, a lot of restaurants, especially like restaurants in Latin America, because it's a big Latin America population in that area. So you're gonna find like really, really nice restaurants for, most importantly, a very cheap price, like Venezuelan, Peruvian. I will give you like a few recommendations, especially for your first day that you will be arriving right before dinner time, which is pretty handy. So on WhatsApp, I'll be letting you know a few recommendations in that. But yeah, it's an area that is like, yeah, like I said, very, very close to the town center. And also you're gonna see that in the welcome pack. If you want to get a if you like you cycle in Seville, there is a bike scheme that you can get. Everything is on the welcome pack. You just need to register, and you pay like €33, and you can get that for the whole year. So I'm gonna, once you come here for the presentation, so one that you're gonna have with me and my colleagues right the next day before you arrive. So that's gonna be on the 4th, Wednesday. I'll explain you everything, little tricks and so on, so you don't have like all the information right beforehand, because like a lot. So just later by later anyway. But yeah, you're gonna see that you're all gonna be living there, and not in the same flat, in the same apartment, well, same building, but very close to each other, like 5 minutes away from each other tops.
Yeah, Judith, you had raised that was answered.
Sorry, this is definitely the last question. You mentioned, Eduardo, like when some people they've had. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're cutting a bit. Yeah, but tell me.
Sorry, you mentioned that when some people left, they had to pay extra for cleaning. Has that happened a lot, or like when they left?
A few times, because unfortunately, cleaners and myself and my colleagues have seen a lot of stuff, like a lot, like people leaving the flats in a very, very poor state. So that's why we always ask, and I'm gonna repeat that again in the presentation, that please do take care of the flat. Obviously, what's yours, keep it clean and tidy, because it's like we work very hard for that. Actually, they're being cleaned right now, like from this group that just left. And yeah, just for you to like to be more comfortable. You're more comfortable in a clean space than a dirty one. So yeah, please do try to keep the flats as you found it, pretty much.
So and that works for everything. So because you're going to be there in a building, and if you can hear your neighbors can hear you. So it's not okay to have parties. So sometimes you can go to somebody's house for dinner and that sort of thing. But sometimes people decided to go, 10 people go to a house, and that becomes a party. That is not okay. I know sometimes, especially in the code, it's going to be this, but it's remember that this is a residential area, and you wouldn't like to actually have noisy neighbors for 3 months. And then for another 3 months, and then for another 3 months. But other than that, it is very important that you get to Seville and you immerse yourself there. It's a very, very easy place to immerse. It's a very, very easy place to actually get to know people and make friends, make Spanish friends. So there is something that later on Renee and people were going to talk more about, the intercambios, which is this bar where you just go there to exchange experiences with the locals because they want to learn English and you want to learn Spanish. You just meet, start talking, become friends. Or sorry. And so or sometimes you have, like in my case, you go to the gym and you start making friends. People invite you to this, you use the meetup app and start making friends. So they are very, very open people. They are my favorite people, and it's just that kind of thing. Like, and when I was there, like Rini was amazing. When I was there, I had a situation in my flat and she was like quick. They were very nice and they solved the problem. And this is something that you can make the most of the experience. And as I said, you're going to be alone if you want to. So, and obviously you're going to have your own bedroom. So you're going to have your own privacy. You need to do your assignments. But at the same time, this is such an amazing opportunity to get to know people, learn Spanish, learn a new culture, because it's not, because when you go traveling just for a week or two, you don't really immerse yourself. You can't really immerse yourself, but that way you can. So in 3 months, you're going to have a lot of opportunities, a lot of chance to do that. So and for me, and it can be a life changing if you want to. So I recommend everybody just go there and then make the most of it. And if you have any questions, sorry.
We always recommend everyone to be as well, like as independent as they can. And yeah, you will have the chance to do a lot of stuff. Oh, also before I forget, we call about independency, of course, but we'll give you like a lot of recommendation and of course any help that you need in case there's something that you don't know how to solve by yourself. So you can always come to us as well if there's any issue or something. But yeah, again, like for example, I'll give you like tons of examples during the presentation in Seville. But I've got people that call me like I don't know, like at 2 a.m. in the morning because they had a 2 paracetamols and they thought they were going to die, and this is true, this happened. Or people that like they were like missing the remotes for the batteries, the remote, and they wanted me to send someone there. Like, come on. So, you know, things like that. Of course, if you actually need some help that you don't know how to serve yourself properly, of course, we'll be here to help as well. And yeah, all the recommendations, you will be sent a weekly newsletter as well with information about like events happening, or yeah, also like what restaurants can you go to as well. You can also ask us. I know where the best tortilla de patatas is in Seville, for example. So I can tell you that. But yeah, as like Edu was saying, if you like come here with a positive attitude,
open mind.
Exactly, open mind and everything, is going to be like one of the best experiences that you ever had.
Plus, they're going to recommend also if you have questions, because there are lots of places to go. So they have the amazing beach of Cadiz. They are going to have the carnival there, which can be crazy, but then when you arrive in the very first week, there is one of the biggest parties there, which is the Three Wise King party. So when the Three Wise Kings just throw candy at you, and it's just very interesting. And there are lots of festivals, there are lots of music, there's a very cultural city. So make sure you just you do it.
Yeah.
All right. And if you have any further questions, just drop us an email. But if not, and I'm going to email the presentation. But I hope everybody have a good time, and I wish you a really, really good Christmas, because congratulations to get to this point, and we're gonna have an amazing time. And then I will go to Seville with you, and it's gonna be great. When you will meet you, so I will specify this in the email later. That will be because it's going to be, I believe, in the South Terminal, so it's not gonna be. It's probably going to be near BA, near BA thing, or we can actually check, because it might actually be after the gate, but we'll see when it comes to it. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, Rennie.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
all.
Thank you.
Seville.
Really-
Ciao, ciao. Happy Christmas.
Happy
Ciao.
Christmas.